What's up, everyone? Hoops Companion here. Today, going to kind of give you guys a look at the latest post in video slash audio form for those of you who prefer it that way. Just trying something new. Today, we talked about how to create instant offense from sideline out of bounds plays and basically just attacking right off the jump anytime that you are in a slob situation. All right. Um, a lot of teams don't really, view sideline out of bounds as an opportunity to score, right? They want to get the ball in safely, run whatever they have as a set play in mind. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. Number one goal when you're throwing the ball in is to not turn it over and give up a pick six layup, right? So we're going to take a different kind of counter look at it and stay on the attack. And there are a couple ways you can do that, and we're going to look at those today real quickly here. Give you a little extra commentary. So some of these are labeled as end of game plays, but again, you can use these anytime with your sideline out of bounds attack. You could use it as a wrinkle, end of a quarter. If you're a high school coach, you might have multiple times throughout the year where you need a bucket with limited time on the clock from the sideline. So let's take a look here. First option, right? Run a slob that mirrors your conceptual offense and flow into it. Okay, so let's say in this example, you run flex. Okay, right here you see you've got typical box set here. Five screening for one comes over the top here, and one's going to reverse it, and you're basically right flowing into flex, right? This is kind of more of like a slice cut or a little higher than flex is typically, but it's the same concept. You get that flex cut, then you got the screen down from 1 to 3. It's the same idea, okay? You could do this for dribble drive. You can do this for Princeton. You can do this for 5 out. Just automatically flowing right into whatever it is that you run if you have a conceptual type of offense. Second thing, right? You can try and get something right at the rim from the start of the possession. Okay, here's a good one called solo. It's a play that I, as a player, my coaches ran, and it's so simple, but also effective. So same thing, got a box alignment. And again, you can do, these are just examples, right? Like this is not the only play to get the ball inside of the post. This is just something I know. You might have something else. You might draw something else up. Be creative. So you got both these top post players screening away. Two's coming off here. Oftentimes you might be able to even get this shot, but right now we're going to focus on the post. One is coming off this here as the safety, just in case things don't work out. Next frame here, you've got 3 throwing the ball in. A couple things can happen, right? As you can see, there's not a lot of space for help right here, okay? So X4 might help, all right? That happens, X4 might creep this way a little bit, or you skip it over the top to 4. You might throw it right over the top to the rim. I've seen that happen. You might go 2-5, right? Kind of go almost like a 1-2 punch there. If you don't have those, that's okay. You can still kind of swing it. If 3 goes into 1, 1 reverses to 4, 4 to 5. If you think about it, right? If 5 can't get this pass from 2, that means the defender's probably playing on this side. So it's almost like classic high-low action. Reverse it, and boom, there you go. That's another option you have. Get a ball handler, playmaker, heading downhill early as possible. I've run this as an end-of-game situation. There are all kinds of things you could do for this. But this simple play right here works like this. 3 pops out using these. You got these screens and other action going on to get players to spacing. 3 comes off, gets the ball, is looking to immediately rip opposite and come right to the rim, okay? Often defenses aren't as set. They don't know what is coming as often out of sideline, out of bounds situations. If you're walking it up, it's a little different kind of focus, but this one jumps right into the action and allows 3 to get to the rim to make a nice little play. Run a quick hitter for a shooter, right? Another option if you have a guy or a girl who can really shoot it. This is kind of a late game set that I've seen, but you could also just run this, right? So, and I don't think this is too hard to install. And here's the other thing about this, right? Like if you have if you have a couple of sideline out of bounds options and you kind of rep them out over the course of the season, it gives you an opportunity to when the game is really on the line and you're in that district quarterfinal game or you're in a game to advance or go home and you really need something. Your team has run something like this in actual gameplay. So it's a little kind of smaller benefit that I think is important. Okay, so on this one, you got 1 popping out, 3 using the screen. It's kind of a decoy. Again, we're trying to get a 3 here. 1's going to dribble away from the action. You've got classic stagger screen here. And, hopefully X2 has helped a little bit on this cut, which gives 2 some space to come off the screen. That's your first option. If that's not there, you can go right into elevator screen action for 3 as well. That's a tough one to guard with a lot of action for when you need a 3. I would also maybe have 4 pop to the corner as a safety right here for an option 2. And finally, obviously the most kind of notable one is having a quick hitting sideline out of bounds for end of game situations. This is like a 1-second play. I think every coach needs to have 1 or 2 of these in their pocket and at least shown their players these in some capacity. On this one, right, there's a second left, so we're going to take whatever we get first. That means if 3 is open first right here, we're going to take that shot because it might be the best one we get. 4 pops out. If they're wide open, throw them the ball. Let them get a clean look. If that's not there, what's going to kind of happen next, 2 is going to kind of come right behind all that action, which is a whole bunch going on here for X5 to be worried about. 2 is going to screen 5. 5 is going over the top. 2 is going to pop here. We're going to throw it to whoever the heck is open. All right. And that's it. Those are just 5 ways you can tack off the inbounds. Options are really endless on this, guys. Be creative with it. Have fun with it. Get your players in the spots that make the best sense for them to be successful, and use your sideline out of bounds as an opportunity to attack a defense that might not always totally know what's coming. Until next time, see you guys later.